few people on. If other people join, that's fine. And if they don't, they can hopefully watch it later. Right, Brooke? Okay. All right. So what we're going to talk about tonight is we're going to talk about a little bit of basic business building for Plexus. I'm going to talk about kind of the income producing activity and how to go about that. And then Tara's going to go through a little bit about how to share and following up with people and all those different things. And then Brooke is going to talk to us about some product information and a little bit about the commission and how the actual business works. So we're going to try to keep this call to about 30 minutes or less so everybody can get back to their kids and their family. So the first thing that I want to talk about is income producing activity. You'll see a lot about that on the team pages, and it's usually called IPA, so income producing activity. That's what they're talking about. And they're talking about the different things that we need to do every day in order to keep the people that we have and keep people interested and keep adding people to our business. So one of the main things that you're going to do is come up with what we call a Frank's list. And Frank stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kid contacts, and social and spiritual contacts. So that would be people that you know outside in social groups in church. So we'll just kind of go through this a little bit and kind of hit on some of them. Just you can kind of get an idea of where to fit people into this. And when you're coming up with your Frank's list, your goal should be to come up with about 100 people. And that sounds like a lot, but when you really start going through it, it's not that many. So friends, obviously those are your friends, people you hang out with, people that, you socialize with on a daily basis, maybe people you work with, that sort of thing. Relatives speaks for itself, people you're related to. Acquaintances would be people that you're not necessarily friends with, but they're people that you know. So that may be people at work too. That could be people at social gather, like MOPS groups or preschool type mom things. If just people that you know, might be some people at the gym, different places where you are acquaintances with people, but they're not necessarily your friends you hang out with all the time. Neighbors, obviously people that you live around, people that you socialize with, or I think that's parents of the friends of your kids. So if your kids are in soccer, maybe the soccer coach, some of the other moms on the team, different things like that. And then your social and spiritual contacts would be obviously people that you know through church maybe, or study groups, Bible study groups, and any other social things that you do if you're in a sorority or different things like that. So those are just kind of give you some areas to concentrate on, what people to pull from. Then once you come up with your Frank's list, what do you do with it? So now you have this list of people, and now it's time to start reaching out to those people. So you'll see some stuff in the Plexus about the 3-2-1 rule. So that is the amount of people that you reach out to for different things every day. The 3 is going to be 3 new contacts a day. So you go on your Frank's list and you pick out 3 people. And there are 3 people that you have not talked to about Plexus. So you may send them a message or see them somewhere and you're going to talk to them about it, or set up a meeting, something to discuss the products and see if they're interested in trying it. The 2 would be to follow up with 2 people that you have reached out to before. So if I reach out to somebody and they say, yeah, sure, I'm interested in a sample, and then I'm going to follow up with that person. I'm not going to expect them to necessarily follow up with me. I'm going to write that down as somebody that I need to follow up with. And then the 1 is to do some sort of training with somebody. That can be do some training with an upline. That could be watch a video on YouTube. There are tons and tons of videos from different Plexus ambassadors. That could be do some training with a downline once you get to the point that you have some downlines. It could be doing a Zoom call, coming up with an event, different things like that. So that's your 3-2-1 rule. Now that can seem a little bit basic, but it really does work. And you can fit that into daily activity, or if you're not the kind of person that can just do that wants to just do a little bit every day, and you have one day a week that you can really hit it hard, then basically do those things in one day. Sit down for a longer length of time in one day and do your 3-2-1 rule with your Frank's list. And if you want to do more than that, that's perfectly fine. That gets a little bit overwhelming and a little bit confusing if you're not somewhat organized. And I kind of had some issues with this at first myself. So what I did is I use a planner now, and when your Frank's list is always evolving, because you're gonna get some people on, you're gonna lose some people, you're gonna have some people tell you no, and somebody that doesn't answer you is not somebody that's told you no until they tell you no. Okay, so just because they kind of ignore you doesn't mean that they're telling you no. So don't cross them off the list. They'll be somebody that you might follow up with later. So what I do is, I have my Frank's list and I check them off as I send them the message. And then if I send them a sample, I'm going to go to the next week in my planner and I'm going to write their name down under the section that I need to follow up with. That way, within a week, they should have their sample. They should have tried it. And in a week, if I haven't heard back from them, I'm just going to send them a message and say, hey, how did you like that slim sample I sent you? And if they say, oh, geez, I forgot about it, I haven't tried it yet, I'll say, okay, great. I'll get back with you and see how you like it tomorrow. And kind of give them a deadline, because that kind of lets people know, okay, she's going to follow up with me. She's going to do it tomorrow. So hopefully they'll try it the next morning. And that's kind of how I keep things organized, is just by constantly flowing through. That's also how I keep my follow-up organized, because once you start adding people on, and Tara's going to talk about follow-up, it's very important to keep track of your people. And when they first start the products, you have to keep track of them more often than once they get going on the products. And each person's going to be different. I have some very high maintenance people that have to be followed up with multiple times a week, and some of them every day at first. And it's fine. They have questions, they don't understand it. So I need to give them what they need. And if they need me to follow up with them every day at first, then that's what I do. And then, maybe once a week, then every other week, then every few weeks. And at a minimum, I follow up with all of my ambassadors and customers at least once a month. I've got some people that have been on product for over a year. They're happy. They're just kind of cruising along, but I don't want to take them for granted. So I follow up with them at least once a month. If I have talked to them about something new, or I know that they've ordered a new product, like say they're trying Accelerator or something, obviously, then I'll follow up with them a little bit more frequently about that. So that's just kind of how you come up with your people, people to cold message. And that's the thing that you do with these people. When you're posting on Facebook or whatever social media you choose to use, people will contact you, but that will not be the bulk of who your customers turn to be. A lot of people will send you a message privately, or they'll comment on your post, and you will get customers that way. But the majority of your customers will actually come from cold messaging. And the most simple cold message that I have used that works was one that they had talked about a couple of months ago. And it's just a simple, hey, I'm sure you've seen my posts about Plexus. I was wondering, have you ever tried it? And it's, hey, so-and-so, put their name in there, make it personal, so it just doesn't seem like it's just a random thing you're sending to everybody. And whether they've tried it or whether they haven't, when you leave the question open-ended like that, they have to answer you. If they're going to, they may ignore you. But if they say, yes, I've tried it, you say, oh, great, how did you like it? Or what did you see with it? If they say, no, I've never tried it, then you say, are you interested in a sample or any information on it? So that question and the way that it is stated like that is very simple, but it's open-ended. So it's going to start a conversation. The thing about your messaging when you send them to people is, if you can make it personal, you're going to get a better response. So say Susie just had a baby. It's, hey, Susie, congratulations on your new baby. I love seeing her pictures on Facebook. I'm sure you've seen my post about Plexus. I was wondering, have you ever tried it? If you can do something like that, you're going to get a whole lot more response than if you just send out a very blanket, not personal type cold message. So that's what you'll see a lot of stuff about cold messaging. The cold messaging is scary at first. I did not do it for a long time. And Brooke can tell you that. I just didn't, I got customers without doing it. And so I was like, that great. I'm glad that works for everybody else, but I don't have to do it. But then when I finally decided, you know what, I want to build my business. I actually want to put some time into this and make this something. I had to start cold messaging. And when I started doing that, things just took off so much faster. If I had made the commitment up front to do that, it would have been better faster. So does anybody have any questions about that stuff? Anybody? I don't know that we have a ton of people. Okay, I will mute myself and let you talk, Tara.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. All right, so I'm going to talk about my posting and sharing and messaging and following up on Facebook. My number one deal is kind of educate people, because most people just assume that this is only about weight loss. So I like to post articles and stuff. I try not to do it too much because sometimes I can get overboard, but I mean, just educate people. I like to friend other people who do Plexus so that I can get, some ideas, and plus we all comment on each other's posts. Like, we try to anyways. Basically, if you can get 3 comments on your post, it kind of bumps your post up, so it makes you at the top of Facebook. If you'll let like me know or Katie know or whatever, Brooke, usually we try to comment on everybody's stuff. So if you see us doing that to you, help us out too. Basically, I have followed everything that Katie and Brooke have told me, like to the T. What they're doing works. So if you will just follow Brooke's page and follow the instructions Katie's giving you guys, it works. They're telling you exactly how to get where you want to go. I really didn't get into this for the money, obviously. I just started and made it very clear that I was not going to sell this stuff. I was adamant, okay, throw all your stuff at me, but I'm not selling this shit. But then like 3 months in, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll just see I'm just going to tell people. And then I was kind of like Katie, I wasn't going to cold message people. I was like, no, that's not for me. I'm not going to do that. But then I was like, well, hell, Katie's doing it. Maybe I can do it. So I basically did the same exact thing that she did. Hey, I'm sure you've seen my crazy Plexus posts. People probably think I'm nuts, but hey, it works. Have you ever tried it? And you would be surprised at how many people will respond back to you. It's kind of crazy. So I've stuck with that, and it's helped a lot. And like Katie said, you're going to get a lot of people off of cold messaging. As uncomfortable as you think it is, I get cold messages all the time for stuff, and Katie would message me before, and I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'm going to order it tomorrow. And I was like, I really should, but dude, I'm broke. Oh no, I had every excuse in the book. And she just kind of kept back and be like, hey, I know your stomach's still bothering you. Are you ready to try this? And I'd be like, yeah. And then one day I just was like, this is stupid. Katie's smart. She's an educated woman. She knows what she's talking about. I'm going to give this a shot. So here I am. And it's paid off. It's been great. And I'm going to keep working the business. So I have some notes I'm looking at. I have like 4 pages of notes. So, okay. If you guys will look at Brooke's posts, she's so good at like sneaking Plexus in. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm always like big, fat, and bold. Like, here's my Plexus strength. And she's got Slim on the back of her minivan and shit. I watch it all the time. She doesn't even say anything about it. It's like, here's my kids, Slim. And I'm like, dang, she's genius. I gotta get me one of those. So, watch her. What she's doing is working. What Katie's doing is working. Friend them. They're both a huge asset to have. Hashtags. That's a great way to kind of slide in the plexus without being super obvious. I watch Brooke do it all the time when I'm trying to get better at it. She's like, you know, plexus helps. I'm at the, you know, I'm running with the kids. And there's like a tiny little deal of hashtag plexus rocks or energy or something. She slides something in there. So I'm like, I got to get better at that. So I get plexus posts, like I friend people all the time, and I like look at their plexus posts, and then, you know, sometimes I can't come up with something, but I'll save it, and then I'll just adjust it to me, and then add a different picture and add my own hashtags or whatever, because people have good ideas. So I mean, follow what's working, follow the people that are doing it right. Like if you guys need help with posts, save, like me and Katie have talked about this, you know, save our posts or whatever, save Brooke's posts, but don't, like if we're in a smaller group, say like me and Katie are, that we all kind of have the same group of people, don't post it that day. Like wait and reword it and do it a couple days later. Let's see. I use the Buffer app just to save stuff. I don't usually schedule on Buffer, but I like to, like if I have something I'm thinking of, like a post, I'll go to the Buffer app and I'll write down my thoughts. And then later I'll go back and like finish it or use it that day. You guys might want to check that out. Don't just post all about plexus, even though I want to, like 7,000 times a day, because I think everybody needs it. People will delete you. So if you post every day, just be a consistent poster, like every day. I'm an every other day person. I try to, you know, do plexus and then personal, plexus and then personal, but be consistent because people are watching. They're waiting for you to fail. They want to know that this is a fluke. And so they're going to be like, oh, well, she didn't post anything this week. So, oh, it's not working or whatever. So I try to be really consistent with that. Another thing is nobody is going to pay attention if you're not making progress in your own life. They're, you know, whether we like to admit it or not, if they can't see it in some way or another that you're making healthier choices in public, around your husband, anywhere. I mean, from being public to personal, nobody's going to pay attention. So I try to be really, I'm very conscious of that. Like I try to make different changes. I try to work out all the time, not all the time. I try to work out like 3 or 4 times a week, and it's nothing like substantial, but I do it. And I try to make way healthier decisions as far as my food. I believe in sharing your products with everyone. I carry a huge tote around and I'm like, oh, you need this, you need that, here, try this. And everybody was like, oh, how do you afford that? But my opinion is it's investing in yourself. So, I mean, I feel like if I could share with somebody, it's going to pay off. I wouldn't have tried it if Katie hadn't given me a sample. I'd have been like, whatever. But, you know, I tasted it. I liked it. I thought, what the hell, you know, here I am. So, but like I said, share with everybody. I believe that everyone can use these products. Like I already went over the cold messaging. Another big thing is follow up. Always, always follow up. I'm psychotic about it. And people probably get annoyed by me, but the way I look at this is we're here to help people, but it is still a business. So you have to be consistent, and some people need more, some people need less. You just kind of got to gauge them. But I mean, like Katie said, some people are needy, some people want to be left alone, but don't take them for granted because, I mean, like I said, I have people who've been on it for months, but I still check on them at least once a month. Once a month, I print off a sheet of all of my customers, like my ambassadors, my preferred, and my retail. And I try to touch base with all of them because everybody is different. So some people need more adjusting than others. Some people fly through it and it's not a big deal, but just be aware of that. Let's see. Basically, my whole perspective on this thing is this is a $35 degree. I have considered numerous times going back to school, and I just cannot make myself pay the $60,000 to go back to school, get out, and I may make I mean, depending on what I went for. Out here, it's hard to get a degree that you can actually use other than in the medical field, and that's a little iffy out here. So I look at it as a degree. I mean, if my goal is if in 2 years I can be making, I mean, shoot, if I could make $4,000 a month, I'd be happy. But I want to keep pushing further and get bigger and do better or whatever. But that's how I look at it. Like there's unlimited potential in this business. It's huge. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because I am an unorganized turd. But I'm like trying to gather my information and put it in my little folder, and I'm using sticky notes and whatever I have to do to get it done. Like I know that, you know, they say message 3 people a day. Well, I'm not very good at that. So I just pick one day and I go balls to the wall. Literally, I message whoever I can message and I respond to whoever I can respond to. And obviously it kind of goes through the week, like as people respond to you, but that's how I work it. And I just feel like this is huge, and I don't know, I want to share it with everybody. But I think that's all I have. So, Brooke, did I miss anything?
I don't think so. That was
Okay.
good. Okay, so you guys want me to cover a little bit about products, right? So we'll fly through this just to give you a little bit of basic information. And if I miss something or don't highlight on it enough, let me know. So I don't think I've even talked about the new Slim except for to Dustin or people in person, but Slim is our flagship, kind of our biggest product that was now reformulated. So it was already awesome. It already was famous for balancing blood sugars, which gave us good natural energy throughout the day, helped you kick that afternoon slump, that 2 o'clock, hitting the wall, brain fog, that kind of stuff. So when you regulate your insulin levels and regulate your blood sugar, that's your master hormone. So when that falls into place, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like our education on the endocrine system in the medical field was about this big. And so I've learned everything I've learned about hormones through Plexus. And when one of them is like a gear on the clock and one of them falls into place, they all kind of fall into place where they're supposed to be. So that hormone regulation from Slim is enormous. So we get some hormone regulation. It can also decrease your lipid levels, and it can help with blood pressure. And now it contains XOS, which is an amazing prebiotic that goes into our gut and helps feed our good bacteria in our gut. And by up to 250 times, something crazy incredible. And the bacteria that it increases actually help with weight loss, and people who have too little of that bacteria, that is linked to obesity. So having more of that good bacteria is a good thing. So now we have gut health with our Slim, which is amazing. I'm on day 5 and I am super stoked. I feel like my appetite control is better than it's ever been. I feel like I went through a tiny bit of detox. If you think about that good bacteria drowning out the bad, I was so excited to go through a little bit of detox again. So, but anyway, that's just our Slim. It's sold alongside my other 2 favorite products, ProBio 5 and BioCleanse. BioCleanse is an amazing magnesium supplement, which is good. It oxygenates our tissues. I take it pre-workout. Magnesium is something we all need. We are all deficient, generally women more than men, especially around our cycles. It's just kind of the way our body works. So we all need magnesium. And so it does help keep you regular, but it's not about going to the bathroom. It's about giving us what we need for our body. And that has some powerful antioxidants and, just like I said, oxygenates your tissue. Then ProBio 5, one of my other favorite products, is our amazing probiotic that has 5 strains of digestive enzymes and 5 strains of bacteria and an antifungal. So goes in, breaks down the yeast, the candida overgrowth. If you don't know about leaky gut or yeast overgrowth in your gut, Google that. It's disgusting. I had every symptom in the book, and that's why I was a sugar addict and I was tired. So ProBio 5 is something everybody needs. Everybody in my family takes it. My youngest started when he was about 13 months. So I always tell people we'll never know how screwed up he was because he's been on ProBio 5 his whole life. So, and I'm not going to take him off to find out what his problems are. One of my other favorite products is X Factor. I take that every day. It is our multivitamin with aloe vera. Aloe vera increases our absorption in our gut by up to 300%. I always think about what aloe vera does topically for a sunburn, knowing that that is happening inside my gut as well. So I think about those people with inflammatory bowel diseases. I mean, how incredible would aloe vera be for them? So not only does it heal topically, it increases absorption. So we're absorbing the nutrients from our food better because we're taking X Factor. It has a natural iron in it as well, in the black currant. Is it New Zealand black currant, I think, which is pretty cool as well. And it's also a methylated folate instead of folic acid, because there's a huge portion of the population that does not actually break down folic acid, which is fortified in every food out there, cereal, bread, FDA approved, of course, and it doesn't do a darn thing for us because we can't digest it. So our vitamin is something that is in a digestible form for everybody, even those with the MTHFR gene mutation that cannot break down folic acid. Mega X, another one of my favorite products I take every day, and those are our plant-based omegas. Omegas are good for heart health, brain health, mood, relaxation, aid in, joint health. And I can tell that my joints get achy if I run out of Mega X, which is kind of crazy. Help with sleep. It's a first-line therapy for kids with ADD when parents refuse to put them on stimulants, because it does help with just kind of relaxation and mood. So anyway, I love that. No fishy burps. It's the only omega I've ever taken. I would tell patients to take it. I would buy a big fat bottle, put it on the back of my toilet, and throw it away when it expired. I hated fish oil. It was disgusting. So I actually take my Mega X every day. So that's good. Let's see, Ease. Ease is another one of my favorite products. I have scoliosis and a messed up back and 4 kids that are boys, and they are crazy. And I'm active with them. And so I don't want to creak when I get out of bed in the morning, and I want to move and age gracefully. So I take Ease twice a day, 1 to 2 in the morning, 1 to 2 at night, depending on my activity level, how much I've worked out, how sore I am, anything else going on. But it is a natural anti-inflammatory with turmeric or turmeric, I'm never sure if I say that right, and New Zealand green-lipped mussel. If you're allergic to shellfish, you cannot have that, but it is amazing. We don't use ibuprofen in our house. If you have anything that hurts, you take Ease. Whether you are, let's see, my 5-year-old, he was 4, had a massive amount of dental work done around Christmas time. The kid didn't get ibuprofen. He got Ease capsules opened up, dumped in applesauce, put in his mouth. He never complained of pain. And let's see, he had 8 crowns, 2 fillings, and an extraction in one day. Never complained of pain with Ease. Like, if that's not a testimony, kid never complained. It's amazing. Comes along with Ease cream as well, topically. We use it for everything in our house: sunburn, sore muscles, anything inflammation, a pimple. It took a wart off my son's hand. I'm not joking. I'll try Ease on anything. So we love it. It's something like Tara, I carry around samples. Somebody hurts at a game. Oh, here's your Ease. Oh, you should try this. Rub this on it. I'm forever giving out this little sample pack. So absolutely, it's one of my favorites. I'm glad to see that your kid does that too, because my son comes in and dabs in the back of training videos. It makes me feel at home. So let's see. The other cream that's my favorite is body cream. It has activated charcoal in it. It has spirulina, am I saying that? Spirulina algae, all sorts of crazy good stuff. For me, it's a face cream I use twice a day. It's a burn cream for us. We put that on there first to kind of soothe it. It's our wound cream. We don't use bacitracin or antibiotic ointment in this house. We put it on any topical wounds here. My mom had this nasty cellulitis and was in the hospital, and you bet I went over there and smeared body cream on it, wrapped her up, propped her leg up. Like, I was like, I don't care if the doctor thinks I'm putting some voodoo stuff on there. Like, he knows me, so I don't think he would worry too much about it. So we put it on everything, just because we don't really use pharmaceuticals for anything anymore, which goes back to magnesium. BioCleanse, if I have a headache, I take BioCleanse. We don't use ibuprofen really at all. So that magnesium is great for headaches. If you have a headache that won't go away and you're in the ER, we give you magnesium along with IV fluids, and it works great. So kind of funny that it took us this long to figure all this out. Let's see, what else? Accelerator and Boost are 2 products that are made to go along with the Slim that help boost our metabolism, speed up weight loss, that kind of thing. We're not supposed to take those with high blood pressure because they're technically a stimulant. However, I tell people, I'm going to give you information. You can do what you want with it. People with blood pressure are taking Monster energy drinks, 16 Diet Cokes, 2 pots of coffee a day, and 5-hour, who knows. So they're taking stimulants all day, every day. So I tell them, you probably shouldn't, but if you do, whatever. I mean, I don't think it's really going to raise their blood pressure, but I feel like I should tell them that and let them make that choice. So Accelerator has 5-HTP in it, which naturally increases our serotonin levels. I've been taking it. I love it. I feel like it helps me with appetite control, energy, and I really do feel like it helps with my mood. So serotonin, if you don't know, makes you happy. It's what we give people we want to increase their serotonin to make them less depressed. That's how antidepressants work. So pretty awesome. If you're on an antidepressant, be careful with your serotonin. You don't want to increase and have too much serotonin. But I think if you took it responsibly, you'd be okay. And just check with us, because we always have access to each other and a pharmacist, so we can help you with that. Boost is for the hardcore exercisers, which is why I don't take it. I mean, I work out, but I'm not like going to go lift for 3 hours and be all sweaty. So it's a thermogenic. It raises your body. I think thermogenic thermometer uses your own body heat to kind of boost your body's system, boost your metabolism to burn more calories, burn more fat. And so, I said, if you're just going to go out and take a walk or whatever and not really be working hard in the gym, I probably wouldn't use Boost, in my opinion. Block is another one of my favorite products. I took it tonight, and it blocks up to 48% of your carbohydrates with natural ingredients, which I think is amazing. I don't use it as an excuse to eat those. I'm going to eat them anyway, so I might as well block 48% of it. It also has a naturally occurring iodine in it, so some people that have thyroid issues, knock it off, they can hear you. Sorry, my kid's in here. It has a naturally occurring iodine in it, and so it's good for thyroid people who struggle with that. Let's see, ladies, what else have I not talked about product-wise? Anything? Don't know? Okay. So on to the business side. They nailed it. I mean, like Tara said, what I did in the beginning was I found people that I liked what they were doing. I kind of liked their flavor, so to speak. I liked their attitude. I liked how they posted. And I thought, and they're successful, so I'm just going to replicate that. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. There's no need to take this time and make sure that door shut and get them away. All sorts of crazy spreadsheets or all sorts of, I'm not going to make all these new presentations. I'm going to let, that teamwork effect help me. Like, I don't need to redo all this. These people have been successful long before I came along. So I watch how people post. I save their posts just like Tara. I will go in and maybe change some of the wording, make it personal to me, add my own picture, and then I will share that. I post every single day, whether I'm feeling it or not. Do I always feel like posting? No, but posting is your open for business sign. I have a Plexus business. I never planned on having a business. It was a total accident. But let me tell you what, when my paycheck rolls in, I count my blessings, and I cannot believe how this opportunity fell in my lap. And I think, oh my gosh, and guess what I have to do for that? I have to post, I have to message, I have to share, I have to help other people be well, and I have to love on them. And I get paid for that? Are you kidding me? So when people say, I don't have time for that, or it's so hard, what is so hard about caring for other people, in my opinion? You have to pay attention, you listen, you know their needs. Like Katie was like, whatever, Tara, you still have issues. Like, you still need our products. Like, she knew Tara needed Plexus when Tara didn't know Tara needed Plexus. That's how we get people to join us. And we do it because we have good intentions. So I would say all of my success is attributed to actually caring. Like, I really do care about wanting people to be well. I think if you fake it and you don't care, those people come and go and they drop off. If you're here just for the business, you have to really care. And you have to pay attention and listen to people. You have to be transparent, be real, be honest, be open, bear the good, the bad, the ugly. I tell about who I was before Plexus. It's not super flattering, but it's the real truth, because someone out there is struggling with just that. So they want to feel better too. So that would be my biggest piece of advice, is share that. We could talk about comp plan and all that stuff, but the money will roll in and your team will grow and your customer list will grow if you are posting transparently and you're being vulnerable. If you're reaching out with intentions to these people and you are following up. I am a blue, like through and through, and I am the most unorganized person ever. Like, literally, I have, like Tara said, Post-it notes. I'm a mess. I have nothing all figured out. Like Katie, I didn't cold message at first. I still don't like cold messaging. I really don't. It's the least favorite part of my day. I will do I'd clean my toilet before I cold message. I just don't like to do it. You ever do that? You do other stupid stuff first because you don't like to do what you need to do. But every day I do it anyway, because that's how my business grows. So if you don't plant seeds today, in 30, 60, 90 days, those people are not going to turn around and join you. So I have people, I've done Plexus for 2 years, and I have a list of people that I think I have 20 samples I'm sending out. I have 2 people I'm bringing products to this week. I'm looking at my list here. Somebody I'm meeting tomorrow. These people have followed me for 2 years, 2 years, and they're just now getting around 20 to do Plexus. So you never know what's going to be their timeline. Like, people are watching you. And like Tara said, they're watching you and they're waiting for you to fail. As bad as that sounds, they're waiting for you to fail, because if you fail, then they don't have to admit that their life sucks and that she wasn't really right. That Plexus didn't work anyway. So I can just go on about my business because her life wasn't better than mine. And it's not about being better, but when they admit to you that they need help, then they've been very honest with you. And if they try it and they quit, you know how bad their life is. And now two of you know, and that's kind of embarrassing. You have no idea how many people have joined me and quit and are now back 2 years later. And they're like, oh, I hate to admit, I think you're actually right. And I'm like, it's okay. I love you. Like, welcome back. Let's do this time. And I mean, so loving on them, I never ever respond to negativity. I always leave the door open. I'm always supportive, and I pray for them. I literally pray for those people. I pray for my biggest haters. I pray for people I want on my team. I pray for the people that I know need products intentionally. Like this is no joke. Today, my kids wanted something done from the gas station they saw yesterday, and I told them if they went to bed last night on time, I would take them back today with their own money to buy it. And I've been praying for this girl on my team, and I thought she unfriended me because I haven't seen her, and I couldn't find her on Facebook. She didn't exist. I was praying for her. I'm in the gas station. She doesn't even live in my town. She walks in today, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, so no, I mean, that was not, she doesn't live here. I haven't seen her in over a year. And she said, I had to leave Facebook. Stuff was going on. But you know what? I've lost 30 pounds. I feel good. I want to have a business lunch party. Will you help me? And I'm like, yes. So like, you can't tell me, like, I've been praying for her that, I mean, it's just crazy how, I mean, she had stuff going on, but I'm supporting her, loving her. She wasn't not replying to me. She didn't unfriend me. I'm supporting her no matter what. So I mean, I don't know. I'm probably getting way off base and not even talking about what you asked me to talk about, Katie. But let's see. I'm going to go through some of the stuff that I thought about just as you guys were talking. So one of the best things I've heard said lately is, like Tara said, is to replicate. Find somebody, model it, make it sound like you. Your friends know what you sound like. So I've had team members who do that, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like you. Like, you got to make it sound like you. Your friends know you. You cannot, I love this one, spray and pray. Like, you cannot spray Plexus all over Facebook and pray that people come to you. Like, that's why you have to cold message. And that was my favorite quote of this month, maybe this year, because it's so true. Like, we all want to be like, well, I told them all about it. Like, all my 2,000 friends, so why aren't they knocking on my door? That's not how it works. Like, people have to mail out coupons for people to come in and try their product, even though they saw their commercial on TV. Like, it has to be personal. There has to be reaching out. We do have a business. So, and I've had people say, oh my gosh, Brooke, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I was so scared to contact you. So they're as scared to contact us as we are scared to contact them. They are so desperate, and everybody's got stuff. I don't care how good they think they feel. They have no idea what Plexus can do for them. And I firmly believe that Plexus can help everybody. And I have that confidence behind me. So it's unshakable. I'm not going to let them tell me it doesn't work. Another thing, those people who want you to fail, those people who are not replying back to you, put your blinders on. Put your blinders on and put one foot and post every day, reach out every day, follow up every day, despite people who are maybe doing this over in the corner and they are. That's okay. I'm kind of passive aggressively, like we have a track program right now that we're doing, and there's 85 kids, and these parents come and they sit up in the bleachers. They could walk laps or something, but they sit up in the bleachers, and I'm out there working out with the kids every day. I'm doing that for two reasons. One, I want to work out, and two, they're seeing what Plexus Energy really does. They're all tired and exhausted and yawning up there and thinking their kids are annoying, and I'm out there running around with them for an hour and a half. Dustin and I both are. That's not why we started it, but it sure as heck proves, like Tara said, living that lifestyle, it sure as heck proves what Plexus can do for us. Because there's no way I would have done this pre-Plexus. Those kids would have drove me crazy. I wouldn't have had the energy. I mean, I have my own 4 kids. Like, I don't got time for that. This business it can be part-time, but it cannot be some of the time. So you can't decide that every 4 days you want to be a Plexus person and then you're going to take 2 days off. I've had a ton of family stuff going on in the last couple of weeks. Some major stuff that was really, it kind of hit me hard, probably the last 3 weeks. And I hope that never is seen on Facebook or to my team. I mean, I could message my leaders and say, okay, I've been kind of MIA, I apologize. But this is a business, so even on the bad days of my personal life, I'm still going to work business. So you're so funny. If my life stunk, I would still have to go to the ER and make money, right? So like, we still have to get up and go to work every day. This work is no different. Even though it's virtual, we have to think of it as a job. So even when your life stinks, if you want like food and your air conditioner to run, you got to go to work, and it is a job, and it pays really well, and it's really fun. Let's see. Like Tara said, I carry stuff all the time with me. I need to restock my purse, actually. I carry brochures. That's been a thing I added instead of business cards. I would rather give someone a brochure because it's like a mini catalog and they can look through our stuff, and I've handed those out. I carry products on me, and I'll give people a sample only if I can have the brochure to give to them, and I can friend them on Facebook. I would either need an email, a phone number, or a friend on Facebook so I can follow up with them if they're a stranger. I want to have a way to contact them later to follow up. Otherwise, I just give away a free product, and they're like, well, thanks, and I'll never see her again. So I have to have a way to follow up with them, and I'll just give them my phone and say, hey, is this you? Type in your name. Okay, I'm gonna friend you, and I'll send you some information. Let's see. I mean, and it's a numbers game. So it sounds cheesy, but the person who talks to the most people wins, because you're going to talk to 100 people and 2 might join your team. So I heard so many people say, well, Brooke, you already talked to them. Well, they might not be comfortable joining me anyway. Maybe I open the door and they'll join you. People are going to join who they're comfortable with. But you do have to open it up and talk to a ton of people. I mean, that really is kind of the secret of the business. Anything else, Katie? Those are just kind of the notes that I had.
No, the one thing that I was going to add about the Facebook posting is people who like your posts. Obviously, the Plexus people you don't need to send a message to, but I do send a message to people who like my posts. And usually I say something like, hey, I noticed that you like my Plexus post. I really want to thank you for your support, or something along those lines, just to thank people, thank you for liking my post. I appreciate your support, something like that. And then I say, are you interested in a sample or any information about the products? Something just not too pushy, because I don't want people to not like my posts, but you'll notice that eventually you're going to get to the point where it's mainly just Plexus people liking your posts, and that's fine. But when all of a sudden you see a different random person that likes your post, sometimes that's just a good time to say, hey, I noticed you liked my post. I appreciate your support. Can I send you a sample or some information? So that's one other thing I was going to add about Facebook that I totally forgot to do. And that's gotten me some customers there too. Does anybody else have any questions or anything to add? Just unmute yourself and ask. I think.
The one thing that I would say too about posting, and I know Tara talked about being consistent, I would also, we don't want to just post about Plexus. We don't want to vomit Plexus on our audience. So you want to mix it up, and you want to do an engaging post. Like yesterday I said, what was something that your mom says or has said, which was really funny. There's a ton of different mom quotes on there that I thought were hilarious. On Mother's Day. And so just something like that once in a while to get people, and you'll be surprised. And every one of those people who commented on my post or liked it, most of them are not Plexus. So I know they're seeing my post. So every single one of them got a cold message from me or a follow-up message offering them a sample of the new Slim, or inviting them to our 5-day event and said, check out this group that we have going on right now. Or I sent them that 30-minute video from the opportunity event last week, the YouTube link. But I mean, that just kind of shows you who's engaged there, and be funny. Don't quit being you. Ellen Ford said when she started doing Plexus that her friend said, you used to be funny. And she said she realized that she was just doing business. So be funny, be you. And like Tara said, we get kind of crazy. I want to do 27 Plexus posts a day because that's really how I feel about it. But I also want to be me, and there is more to me than Plexus. So I want to be funny and engaging, and I have to kind of rein it in because I'm crazy about Plexus. So I have to watch myself. Anything else you guys can think about?
I think that's good. If nobody has any questions, then I think we can go. And
okay, I'll attempt to get this recording uploaded if it works correctly.
Where will you put it? Will you put it on the Peak Drinking Club?
Or I can put it just in our thread.
Oh, you can? Okay.
I think so. I'll try. If not, I'll message it to you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I was going to add one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's good for everybody to watch is that Fed Up and Sugar Coated on Netflix. It's kind of interesting, and it kind of goes along with what we're doing. So, anyways, that's it.
Fed Up is what it's called on Netflix? Okay. I have to look for it. Okay. Well, thank you guys very much. Thanks for taking time to listen to us, I guess. And if you think of any questions or anything, just post it in the messenger or message one of us. Have a good night.